Hello everybody, welcome to the first video in a 3-video series on understanding correlation. So let us get started. Firstly, let us try and understand what is meant by correlation. As the word suggests, we are going to look at the correlation between two variables. Let us consider an illustration. Let me define x as the height of a place from sea level and y as the oxygen density at that particular place. So what happens to y as x increases? All of us know that the oxygen density at places at higher altitudes is very low. So what we are trying to say is that as x goes on increasing, that is as x takes higher values, correspondingly there is a decrease observed in the value of y. Let us take another pair as another illustration. Let me define x as the income of a particular person and y as his or her spending capacity. What happens in this case? If a person is earning more, that is, if a person has a higher income, then correspondingly he or she is expected to have a higher spending capacity. If a person falls in the lower income group, then obviously his spending capacity will not be as high. So what happens in this case is that if x increases, we are observing a corresponding increase in y, and if x is on a lower side, correspondingly y also is on a lower side. So then what is correlation? Correlation is something which deals with two variables like we saw in the earlier case. Now let me revise this again. When we say we are talking about a variable, it is a quantitative characteristic. That is something which we can measure or something which we can take actual readings on. So things such as nationality or blood group or religion or gender, they will not qualify to be variables as they are commonly called attributes. So if you are studying attributes, then you will not be able to study correlation between attributes. The variables that we are going to consider are commonly denoted by x and y. Again, it is a general practice, it is not a compulsion. If you are comfortable, you can call the variables as x1, x2 or y1, y2 or a and b or whatever you are comfortable with. Then, when we are going to study correlation, we are going to talk about only linear relationship between x and y. Right? So if it is a relationship of the type y is equal to x square or y is equal to 2x square or something like that, then it is no point studying correlation between those x and y variables. Through correlation, what we are trying to study is the degree of association between movements that are observed. What do we mean by this? We have seen that in correlation, there is simultaneous movement in x and y. So as changes are happening in x, there are some corresponding changes observed in y also. So in correlation, we are going to try and study what is the magnitude of the changes that are happening, of the simultaneous changes that are happening. Now this particular concept of correlation has applications in many fields or areas. Like for example, you can consider microbiology, you can consider astronomy, you can consider economics, you can consider finance, so on and so forth. So let us go to types of correlation that exist. Firstly, we are going to talk about positive correlation. So you know that when there are simultaneous changes observed in two variables, we say that correlation exists. Now if these changes are happening along the same direction, then the correlation will be called positive. So for example, if x is increasing, correspondingly if y also is observed to increase, then the correlation will be positive. To explain this, let us take an example. Let me denote x as the age of a child and y as his or her clothing size. So if you consider a child of a very small age, correspondingly, his clothing size also will be small or also will be less. As the age of a child goes on increasing, the clothing size is also expected to go on increasing. So we are observing changes which are either up and up or down and down. So in other words, changes are occurring in the same direction. It is either up both ways or down both ways. Whenever such a situation is observed, we say that there is positive correlation between these two variables. Let us move on to negative correlation. Now we saw that when it is positive, changes are in the same direction. So the exact opposite of that becomes negative correlation. That is, in negative correlation, as there is an increase in one variable, the corresponding change in the other will be a decrease. So if one is going up, the other is going down. If one is going down, then the other is expected to go up. So there are again simultaneous changes that are occurring, but now they are along opposite directions. So for that, let us consider an example. Let X be the number of mouse traps that are set up in your home and Y be the number of mice that are left in the house. So clearly, if you're going to set up more and more mouse traps, more and more mice will get caught. Correspondingly, what will happen is the number of mice in your house will go on decreasing. So as X is rising, we observe that there is a decrease in Y. If X is taking lower values, then the values of Y will be higher. So there is negative correlation in this particular pair X and Y. Now let us consider these X and Y variables. Let my X be number of biscuit packets sold in a city and Y be the number of hit films that are delivered by a popular film star. Does it look like both of them are related? Will it happen that if, let's say, 100 packets of a particular biscuit are sold in a city, then the number of hit films delivered by that popular film star will correspondingly increase? Or if lesser packets are sold, then the film star will deliver lesser hits? Clearly not, right? So, when you have such a pair of absurd variables, or rather absurdly related variables, then clearly there is going to be no correlation between X and Y. So when you're going to try and study correlation, the first thing you need to make sure is there should be some logical connection between X and Y. If you are sure there is some connection, only then we can go to examining the further correlation process. Alright, so now let us go to pictures which will tell us about correlation. Now all of us have plotted points or plotted ordered pairs X and Y in school, isn't it? So a graph which shows you all the plotted points or all the plotted pairs X, Y is known as a scatter plot. It is called a scatter plot because whatever points you plot are scattered around. So a scatter plot is used to gain some initial idea or some initial picture about the correlation between two variables. So what is a scatter plot going to tell you? It is going to show you a pattern. So if you observe, there are two scatter plots that are given on the screen. In the first one, there is a clear increasing trend. Now all the points are not along an exact straight line, but if you place a ruler or if you place your finger on this graph, then all the points will fall inside that ruler. So they are falling inside a patch. So whenever you observe such kind of a relationship in a graph, it tells you that the correlation exists between X and Y. Now whether it is positive or whether it is negative depends on what kind of trend is being observed. So in the first graph, all my points are showing an increasing trend. So any line that you draw passing through as many points as possible is going to have a positive slope. Hence we say that the correlation between whatever variables are given to you in the first graph is going to be positive. What is happening in the second one? All the points are showing a downward trend or a decreasing trend. So any line you draw through these points, it is going to have a negative slope. Hence we say that if you have a scatter plot which looks like this, there is going to be a negative correlation between whatever points are given to you. Now the strength of correlation between X and Y depends on how close these points are to each other. So to understand that, let us proceed. Now there are quite many scatter plots you are seeing in front of you right now. In the first graph, that is the graph in the top left corner, you see that there is a clear increasing trend in the points and almost all of the points are lying along the straight blue line that is drawn. They are not exactly on the line, but they are very, very close to the line. So this situation indicates that there is positive correlation between x and y, and also it is strong. On the contrary, the second graph, again the trend is positive, which is clearly seen in the graph, but the points that are plotted, they are not very close to the line. They are scattered away, or they are distributed far away from the line. So in this case, even though the correlation is positive, it is very weak. Like the first graph, the third graph shows you strong correlation because the points are scattered very close to each other. But since they are showing a downward trend, the correlation will be negative. So the third graph shows you a graph representing strong negative correlation. On similar lines, you can interpret the remaining three graphs also. You have a graph which shows you weak negative correlation. Again, you have a downward trend, but points are scattered. Now the fifth graph that you have is somewhere between strong negative and weak negative. That is, the points are not very close by, but they are not very far away either. So whenever you have such a case, the correlation is said to be moderate. It can be moderate positive or negative depending upon whatever graph you have. Now in the last graph, if you observe, there is no specific pattern. There is no trend. It is neither decreasing nor is it increasing. In such a case, we say that there is no correlation between the pair of variables that is given to you. What is happening in this graph? If you notice, in the first graph, all the points lie exactly on a line, exactly on a straight line. In the second one, again they are on the line, but it is showing a downward trend. So whenever in a scatter plot, all the points lie exactly on a straight line, we say that the correlation is perfect. So it can be perfect positive as in the first graph, or it can be perfect negative as observed in the second graph. Now it is a common misconception that if the slope of your line, the line that you are drawing through the points, is very high, then the correlation also is high. If the slope is low, the correlation is also low. But in these particular graphs, you can clearly see that the correlation is at the exact same value of 0.95, but the slopes are clearly different. So what I want to say here is that more slope does not mean correlation, more correlation. Less slope does not mean less correlation. There is no relation between the slope of a line and the magnitude of correlation between whatever variables are given to you. Alright, now what is happening in this graph? Can you say that there is no relationship between x and y? Clearly not, right? Because there is a clear U shape that you are observing in this graph. It can be a parabolic curve or it can be a polynomial. We can't say exactly what kind of a curve this is. But clearly there is some relationship or the other here. Now in this case, if you try and study the correlation, it will give you a value of 0. Why is that? Because as we have said earlier, when we study correlation, we are going to talk about only linear relationships. There is going to be no reflection of non-linear patterns which are present in your data. Alright, so now based on this video, there are a few activities I want all of you to carry out. The first out of that is, you are given certain pairs of variables x and y. What I want you to do is, go through each pair carefully and try to determine what type of relationship exists between the given pair. So if one is increasing, what is happening to the other? Is it correspondingly increasing or is it decreasing, or what exactly is going on? So I want you to determine the type of correlation between every pair out of the 6 pairs that is given to you. This is the first activity for you. The second activity is that I want you to come up with minimum 2 pairs of real life examples or real life variables such that the correlation between them is positive and negative. So 2 examples for positive, 2 examples for negative. Now if you need help, you may look up on the internet. The third activity is that I want you to list at least one application of correlation in the areas that are given on the screen. Again, if you can't think up of something on your own, you're always free to go to the internet so that you will have all the assistance that you need. That's all for this video. Thank you.